Chapter 34. The Bad Guys. The second Sky and Jesse left safety, Dylan and the others laid down a protective layer of bullets. Gregory's men did not even peek around their shields to try anything. The gunfire rang through her skull and reverberated through her body. But the sound which normally put her on edge now brought her comfort as she and Jesse sped across the broad swath of bare pavement. However, as soon as there was a break in the gunfire, Gregory sent two of his men after Sky and Jesse. Sky glanced their way and urged Jesse to run faster. The two men fired, their bullets hitting the concrete behind her and Jesse. Sky turned at the sound of a cry. Kurt was on the ground clenching his leg. Dylan pulled him back to safety as Wade returned fire. Sky tripped over a crack in the pavement. "Mom." Jesse helped her up. "They're closer, Mom." Sky fired a couple of rounds behind her. It was unlikely she would hit anything, but the men slowed anyway. Sky picked up speed, going as fast as Jesse could handle. Her gaze ran up and down the broken pavement, frantically searching for some place to hide. The few scattered vehicles lay too far away to be of help. She and Jesse needed to make it to the trees. They had to. Sky threw a glance over her shoulder. Gregory's men were gaining on them with each step. She could hear the slap of their shoes on the asphalt. Sky and Jesse refused to give up. Breath labored, hearts pounding, they raced on. "We'll make it, Jesse." Sky huffed. The boy nodded, but their odds were low, and he wasn't the fool he pretended to be. The men shot at Sky and Jesse's feet. A bullet to a leg was less likely to be fatal. But their own erratic movements along with those of their targets kept their aim from hitting anything vital. They taunted Sky and Jesse. "You can't win. Just stop. Quit. Everyone else will be dead soon. Do you really think some woman and kid will get away from us?" Sky clamped her jaw. "We've gotten away before by ourselves, and we'll do it again," she told Jesse. If they could make it to the tree line, they'd have cover. She and Jesse could use what Dylan taught them. They just needed the trees. Instead of slowing Sky and Jesse, the men's words fueled them. Sky's spirits lifted when they were within yards of the woods. They were almost there, just a few steps, a few seconds, and they would be safe. They were so close now they could almost touch the multicolored leaves on the trees. When the shots rang out, Sky jerked. Gregory's men thudded to the ground. Sky and Jesse turned expecting to see Dylan and Wade. But there was no one behind them. Sky's gaze traveled to where she'd left him. Dylan's men were in hand-to-hand combat with Gregory's remaining men. There was a stir in the woods. Sky whipped back toward it. Through the thick line of trees stepped Calvin, Pete, and Tony. Sky's whole body clenched, and her mind spun. When she thought the nightmare couldn't get worse, Frankie came into view. Sky started to pant, unable to draw a breath. She put a hand out to Jesse and took an unsteady step backward. Whatever Gregory's men had in store for them would be a picnic next to what these men had planned. She whirled, pulling Jesse with her. She needed to get back to Dylan. "Oh no, you don't. We finally found you, rebels. It's time you learned your place."